Except a wealthy rainmaker stares in, the part of humane-induced environment changing in Storm Idai is hardly to be obviously established. The scientists in the examination just don't include the asset to do the big sum of machine modeling require. Yet, down there are a quantity of conclusions on growing temperature how researchers include gleaned of early teaching on tropic cyclones in the area. Time Storm Idai is the seventh such a main tempest of the Hindu Sea time of year, more than rather than dual the ordinary for the period of year. The length-term tendency does not supporting the concept how these kind of events are now more than common. This exciting item for the region is how the rate of tropic cyclones has diminished always so lightly above the recent 70-year, told Dr. Jennifer Fitchett of the College of the Witwatersrand in Southward Africa, who has investigated the issue. Instead of, we are receive a lot high rate of top intensity storms. Environment changing is as well change a quantity of factors in the backdrop how are helping to manufacturing the effect of these storms worst. Down there is completely no question how, while down there is a tropic storm love the, later sense of environment changing the precipitation events intensities are high, told Dr. Friedrich Otto, of the College of Oxford, who has transferred a quantity of teaching looking at the impact of heating on particular events. Or as well since of ocean level growth, the resultant flood is more than intensive rather than it would be out of humane-induced environment changing. A impoverished nation in a length shoreline, Mozambique is particularly sensitive to storms sweep in of the Hindu Sea. More than rather than 700 lives were lost for a destructive flooding down there almost 20 years back. I was one of lot journalists' accountability on the distress of communities immersed. One female, twisted in a wood, was constrained to offer childbirth amongst the branch. A enormous world answer saw the King Air Strength email 6 helicopter to save survivors. Behind later, the precedence was to rescue lives. Slight mind was taking into account to restoration homes and infrastructure facilities in new designs to assist them survive next storms. Growth expert include length reasoned how renovation should consolidate the concept of elasticity, in roads grown top quite to remain dry in floods and houses done strong quite to oppose storm strength winds. Down there are a lot of examples of how the striker thinking can assist. In cheap-lying Bangladesh, down there are schools constructed on top land that can be as refuges for storms. And as the capacity effects of environment changing be superior understood, down there's increasing acceptance of the requirement for communities to adjust to which could be stricter facility front. One crucial element in the southern Hindu Sea how is possessing an effect on these storms is ocean surface temperature. Heating seas indicate down there is more than power accessible for cyclones, that just shape while the water supply reaches 26 degrees C. These storms as well requirement assist of the lands rotating to get them rotating. The rotary impact gets much stronger the future you go off of the equator and to the poles. Yet, in early many decades, the future off you were of the equator intended the radiator the seas became and so any tropic cyclones how shaped didn't include the power to hold departure. Now environment changing is affecting how relation. By growing ocean surface temperature, we are vision the link of continuous heat require for these storms to shape driving future and future to the southward polar, told Dr. Fitchett. So it is growing the band in that these storms can shape and house later enabling them to strengthen so rapidly. But it's not fair a easy equalization. High ocean surface temperature can as well job versus the forming of cyclones. On the one brush, you include the high sea temperature and how lends more than power for tropic cyclones to shape, told Dr. Otto. Yet you as well include high temperature in the ambience that leads to more than breeze shift, that weakens hurricanes. On to researchers, on 7 various sea or air facility are required for storm forming and usually just a pair of these happen. Yet, since of environment changing, more than of these facility are overlapping in every some and hows why these big storms occur really rapidly. Everything arguments on the impacts of environment changing on tropic cyclones, the harm inflicted in Mozambique has lot more than to do in the exploit of human beings on the land rather than growing temperature. If you see at polar America, they are testing Class 5 cyclones rather routinely currently, and they don't expertise the standard of harm how Mozambique is vision, told Dr. Fitchett. While a tempest love that comes on, the capacity for desolation is endlessly high. A town love area is at lot high hazard, since not just include you lot more than human beings down there, it's as well so lot more than hard for them to get of.